What's up, everyone? This is Pooka, bringing you a special Thanksgiving video. Just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And, this is a great time of the year, a great holiday, where everyone can just kind of relax, sit down, and eat as much food as you want. That is in the spirit of Thanksgiving. So, of course, last year we had our special Thanksgiving deck. That was all crazy bird Pokemon, off-the-wall kind of a deck. We had a nice family. Everybody had their own personalities. And we're back. We have Thanksgiving Edition 2.0. So let's go ahead and take a look at this year's Thanksgiving deck. I think you guys will enjoy this one. So, it's Thanksgiving. So, usually the traditional Thanksgiving meal is a turkey. Unfortunately, there are no real turkey Pokemon. So I'm going to use almost every bird I can find. Turns out there's a lot more birds than I thought, so we just went with a bunch of birds. So everyone has their own little quirk, their own personality at the table. They all play their own role at the dinner table. So let's take a look. Ho-Oh is kind of the centerpiece of the whole thing. This probably is the thing that most resembles a turkey, so this kind of embodies the spirit of Thanksgiving. It's nice and colorful, happy, bright, everything we want in Thanksgiving. Ho-Oh has it. So that's going to be our first one. Then we'll start looking at the other members of the dinner table. We have Lugia. I kind of see this one as, the head of the table, takes control of everybody, says grace before dinner, gets everything together. Just looks like a very important Pokemon that's going to keep everybody in line and set everything up. Then we get the troublemakers. Alright, Chatot, it's kind of like the little kid at the table, just kind of running around and being really annoying, mimicking everything you say, until you just get so fed up. But it's Thanksgiving, so you just go and eat more food. Then we have, how about Dodrio? This is the person at the dinner table that just talks so much, you wonder if they have 3 mouths or not. Sorry, that one's kind of a stretch, but I had to find some way to use Dodrio here. The person that just keeps talking over and over and over. Doesn't let anyone else get a word in. Then we have Farfetch'd, probably the cook here at our Thanksgiving dinner. Got the leek contributing to something in the kitchen. Gotta be our chef, I would think. Who's next? We're gonna go with Moltres, kind of the fiery discussion at the table. Probably gonna bring up something very controversial like religion or politics, get everybody all fired up. Maybe you don't like this person, maybe you do, but they're gonna make things interesting. Then we have Zapdos, kind of the electric personality in the room. Everybody laughs when Zapdos is around. Everybody's happy. It's gonna be a good time when Zapdos is around. Lots of conversation going on. And, jokes, all this fun and happiness. Just lots of energy. That's what we're going for. Then we got the last 3 birds here. Articuno is kind of the cold person who makes some really mean remarks. Maybe doesn't like the holidays so much. Don't really want to interact with anybody. They're just kind of there because they have to be there. And they just kind of bring everybody down. So that's Articuno. Then there's Skarmory, kind of the secluded person who doesn't really want to talk to anybody. Again, not really too happy to be there, but they're there. They don't really dislike Thanksgiving, but they just prefer to keep to themselves. Nothing wrong with that. And then finally we have Sigilyph, who is kind of the creepy uncle. We don't really like Sigilyph. Nobody really wants to invite him, but he's part of the family, so we kind of have to. And then finally we have Snorlax, which is what you're going to feel like after you eat Thanksgiving dinner and all of that food. Alright, so that's all the Pokemon. I kind of went with a theme for this deck. As you'll see, I run one of everything. So I figured I'd carry over the theme into the trainers as well. I don't want to go into the trainers individually. I just wanted to have a lot of fun with them. One I wanted to make sure I had was town map. You know, you got to have a map to get to the party, get to the dinner. We're going with all sorts of crazy stuff. We're even playing a Pokeball in here to have some fun. And then the supporters, before we get to that, we also have computer search, because there's always going to be somebody on a computer. You know, somebody's going to pull out their iPad, pull out their cell phone, pull out a laptop. They're going to be doing something, looking up YouTube videos, showing them off to the rest of the family. So we have the computer. And then we have the supporters to embody the spirit of Thanksgiving. Everybody's invited. So I ran every single supporter in the format. That's right. Bianca, Caitlin, Cedric Juniper. You know, it's nice to play some fun and games. Charon, Silent, Chorus, Elisa, Getsis. I don't know why we invited him, but we did. Hooligans, Jim and Cass, Hugh, Iris, N, Professor Juniper, Shadow Triad, Skyla, and Team Plasma Grunt. They are all invited to our Thanksgiving dinner. And then we have some tools here, you know, EXP share we need to share. Floatstone, I don't really have anything for this. It's just a good tool. And then Giant Cape, because everything's better with a cape. And plus, I'm playing Elisa, so I wanted to at least be able to search for 3 Pokemon tools. From there, we just have a bunch of energy and some standard trainer cards. But enough about the explanation. Let's see this silly deck in action. We'll see how a game goes with this deck. So here we go. Gonna get started with a game against Mighty Quinn C. And we'll see if we can pull off some magic on Thanksgiving. Starting off, well, we have Snorlax, Zapdos, and Articuno. I have that double colorless energy in my hand, so I might just start with Snorlax. The other two are not particularly good attackers in the early going, but maybe Snorlax we can start attacking with Team Pact turn 2. If not, he's a good blocker at the beginning of the game. Has that ability block, of course. And looks like we're up against, oh no, probably a Virizion Genesect deck. And that does not bode well for us. That's for sure. Alright, so we're going to bench our other 2 Plasma Birds. I do run 16 Plasma Pokemon, so it is possible to use Team Pact for 180 damage with this deck. It is possible. But we're going to computer search right off the bat and hope that our 1 Juniper isn't prized. Looks like it's not, so we can go ahead and take that Professor Juniper and then attach the giant cape to Snorlax. Can you imagine how awesome Snorlax looks with a giant cape attached to it? And now we have all 3 legendary birds in play. That means we win the game automatically. Mighty Quincy should just concede, because I have the legendary bird trio. Game over, man. You can't beat that. But it looks like he's going to try anyway. Poor guy. Anyway, he's going to attach a grass to the Genesect EX. And we'll see what else happens here. We have a Skyla. Moltres actually could be quite useful against Genesect, although it does take 4 energy to attack. 2 of them being fire, unfortunately. And we see the Chorus Machine for a Plasma Energy onto the Genesect. So now I have a Hugh, and I have a Cedric Juniper, but I don't have a Pokemon to actually use it. So you need to have a Pokemon in your hand for your opponent to guess what it is. I have, well, I can put an EXP share somewhere, and then I can play Hugh for 1 card if I want to. I could escape rope here, but I don't think I really need to. Snorlax should be safe from a knockout. We're going to Hugh for 1. My opponent actually gets to draw 1 as well. We draw a Dodrio, and then have to pass the turn. Frozen City comes down, and go figure, I don't actually worry about Frozen City. I have Plasma Pokemon, alright. Happy Thanksgiving to me. So we see another energy on Genesect. Looks like I'll be getting hit with a Megalo Cannon here. And another Chorus Machine as well Plasma Energy goes on to Deoxys, and then a Megalo Cannon for 110 damage. I'm probably going to hit one of my... There we go, the Moltres for 20. We have Great Ball here. I'm going to Cedric Juniper first, throw out Dodrio. And my opponent has 5 seconds to guess its height. Looks like he guessed incorrectly. So I get to draw 3 cards. Nothing like a little fun and games on Thanksgiving. Then we Great Ball for the Doduo. Alright. So we're going to take a look at our other 6 cards there. But Doduo is the one I get. I have a Ho-Oh as well, but it's going to be difficult to get that into the discard pile, considering I only play 1 Ultra Ball. But who knows? We're going to try. And I did not get the other 2 Plasma Pokemon I needed this turn to really attack with Team Pact. I may need to use Dodrio to attack next turn. I have the EXP share on Articuno, but I have to put my second DC onto Snorlax and Team Pact for 120 damage. Take that, Genesect. We'll see what happens here. We see another Plasma Energy. And, oh, looks like my opponent decides to Red Signal for the Moltres. And Giant Cape saves the day. We survive with 20 HP on Snorlax. Now, I have 2 options here. I could just retreat and Team Pact for the knockout on this Genesect. Or I can play the Escape Rope and force up Deoxys. At the time, I actually forgot Moltres only had a 1 retreat cost, so if I knew that, I probably just would have retreated and then used Team Pact. But we're going to Escape Rope, bring out the Deoxys. This will force my opponent to have a switching card in order to get to the active spot, so maybe it's not all bad. We see a Grass go on to Deoxys. That's not going to help, though. You cannot retreat. Snorlax blocks that Deoxys in place. And what's going to happen? Is it going to pass? What's going on? Mighty Quincy is probably confused that he cannot retreat that Deoxys because it is blocked in place. That's a very nifty ability. We don't see enough Snorlax usage these days, but again, that's what you're going to feel like after Thanksgiving dinner. And I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, we see a Skyla finally from my opponent. We'll see which trainer card he grabs. A switch here would be pretty devastating for me because he could knock out Snorlax. Then a Tool Scrapper actually would have been the most devastating. He could have discarded Giant Cape. Snorlax instantly would have been knocked out, and I would have had to promote another Pokemon there. But looks like, nope, just an N, and is going to pass the turn. So I'm going to attach a Fire to Moltres, and then Team Pact for 120, knocking out the Deoxys. And we are in the lead with the Thanksgiving deck. Thank you, Snorlax, and the Legendary Bird Trio. I told you we could not lose once the trio hit the field. It's just a rule of Pokemon. The game just ends, man. But we have a Red Signal and then a Megalo Cannon knocking out both Moltres and Snorlax. But the EXP share activates. Sharing, that's what Thanksgiving is all about. And my opponent's only Pokemon is that Genesect, so we can just attach and Blizzard for the win. Thanksgiving takes the victory. And that is an awesome game. So hope you guys enjoyed. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Celebrate it with your family if you can. Otherwise, see your friends. Whatever you can do. Just enjoy the holidays. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. From us at the Top Cut. And random shout out to Ryan Scott Graham for no good reason. I am Pooka from the Top Cut. See you guys next time. I'll actually have another video with this Thanksgiving deck coming up. So if you want to watch more Thanksgiving deck in action, stay tuned. Watch the next video. Alright, see you guys next time.